Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take huge piles of research and make it make sense, just for you. Today, we're tackling maybe the most intense deep dive yet. It's all based on one source, a really, really detailed personal story of a near-death experience, an NDE. This happened after a massive medical crisis back in 2015.
Yeah, this one, it really needs more than just a summary. You have to kind of unpack it. The medical event itself, it's right at the edge of what's survivable. We're talking someone on life support. It was an allergic reaction cascaded into complete organ failure, sepsis.
And the numbers, when you look at the actual medical data, it's stark. The patient's CO2 level was recorded at over 200. And just so you understand, the normal max level, before you're talking severe brain damage or death, is usually around 35.
Right. So that level of, well, physiological certainty. Doctors gave less than 1% chance of survival. The hospital pastor actually gave last rites. That context, that extremity, it really frames the kind of spiritual experience that followed. So our mission here is to look closely at the vivid, mystical, and interestingly predictive stuff that came out of this NDE. And the experiencer remembers this NDE more clearly than regular memories from that time.
That detail alone is pretty powerful, isn't it? That the memory feels more accurate. Okay, so let's get into the journey itself, right at the start. They mentioned it was both pleasant and distressing.
Yes, a mix. But crucially, consciousness, their alertness, felt sharper than normal waking life. The phrase kept coming up. Everything felt more real.
More real.
Which leads straight into that initial out-of-body phase. That's pretty common in NDE reports, but here it felt accelerated, like an instant separation, losing all sense of the physical body and traveling to what they call the astral realm.
The astral realm, for anyone not familiar, that's like a non-physical plane where consciousness can go.
Exactly. In metaphysical terms, it's sometimes thought of as the energy body traveling outside the physical one.
And right away, in this state, they met guides.
3 of them, yeah. Communication was telepathic.
And here's a detail that really stood out to me. One guide looked exactly like the experiencer's own daughter.
That's such a specific personal detail.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just incidental. The source is clear. That daughter guide had a purpose. To keep them anchored,
Anchored?
Yeah, tethered to this current reality was the phrase used. And urging them to fight, to choose to live. It sort of implies that the pull to stay in that peaceful NDE state was incredibly strong, maybe too strong without that anchor.
Wow. Okay. And the senses, what was that like?
Very different. Time just collapsed. It lost all meaning. Everything felt like it was happening all at once.
All at once.
And vision, hearing, much sharper, more vivid than normal. Plus, the seeing wasn't just the immediate surroundings. It was traveling through different realities, seeing nebulae, even another planet described as an orb.
So not just floating above the hospital bed, this was cosmic travel.
Right. But it wasn't just sightseeing either. It flowed directly into, well, lessons, active instruction, which brings us to what they learned about consciousness itself.
This part really shifts perspective, doesn't it? It goes way beyond human experience. The guides gave actual instructions, experiential stuff, like merge with other life forms.
Exactly. Merge with them to fully understand their consciousness. And they gave specific examples.
Which were?
Merging with a tree, a fish, a lily flower.
Okay, wait. Merging with a tree or a lily? How? I mean, they don't have brains like we do.
That's the challenge to our usual thinking, isn't it? It suggests consciousness isn't limited to, complex nervous systems. It implies consciousness might be a fundamental property of life itself, flowing through everything.
That's a big thought. If a fish or a flower has a consciousness you can connect with, it changes how we define intelligence.
Completely. And it didn't stop there. They traveled through space, observed another intelligent species on a different planet. It just kept broadening the scope.
And all this led to some kind of core understanding.
Yes, a feeling of total unity, harmony with the entire universe. Like suddenly they just understood everything about how it all works.
Wow. And what was that core understanding? What was the big takeaway?
It all came down to love.
Love. Like romantic love or?
No, much bigger. They were shown love as a fundamental law of the universe, like a high-frequency energy, the basis of all creation. And this is key, the actual energy that's expanding the universe.
So love isn't just an emotion, it's cosmic physics.
That's how it was presented, moving love from psychology right into cosmology, the engine driving everything.
Okay. Merging with a flower, understanding love as cosmic expansion, that's already huge. But there was more.
Oh yeah, it shifted again. From these lessons about existence to the nature of time itself. Which leads us to the Akashic records.
Right, the Akashic records. Can you give us a quick refresher on that concept?
Sure. In this context, think of it like a universal non-physical library, or maybe a database. It holds information about everything that's ever happened or thought, or even potential possibilities past, present, and future. All of it.
So they access this record.
Intensely. The guides used it to counsel them on their own life, past and present events.
Yeah.
But again, that weird time thing, it all felt like it happened all at once.
And they got answers to those big life questions.
Yeah, the classics. Why are we here? Who are humans, really? What is God? Is there life after death? The experience apparently provided direct, experiential answers, not just theories.
And it wasn't just personal stuff. They saw more.
Definitely. They were shown different dimensions within the records, including alternative timelines for our reality.
Alternative timelines, like different ways things could have played out.
Exactly, suggesting that potentials and probabilities are actual structures within this universal information field. But maybe the most surprising part for many listeners will be the specific predictions about world events.
Yeah, that part is quite unusual. You go from these huge cosmic truths to election results.
Right. It's a strange mix. They were shown the outcome of the 2016 U.S. election, specifically that Donald Trump would win. Also that Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, would sort of calm down geopolitically for a period.
Okay. But it wasn't all politics, was it?
Not at all. They also saw future alien disclosure, a major disruption to the main internet, something people have worried about, especially since 2015, and the takedown of a mass sex trafficking ring.
That's quite a list. Alien disclosure and sex trafficking rings in the same vision. It feels almost random.
Or maybe it suggests the records are just unfiltered, containing everything from the cosmic scale down to very specific, very human struggles and evils. It kind of grounds the universal truths in the reality of our world, maybe, showing that suffering and crisis are part of the total picture.
That makes sense. And there was more, right? Something about trees.
Yes. Connecting back to the merging with life forms idea, they were shown future experiments specifically designed to check trees for consciousness.
Wow.
Alongside more general predictions of war, a lot of world-related things, as they put it. So, progress and conflict happening together.
It does make you wonder about free will, doesn't it? Seeing these future points, are they fixed? Or just potentials?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The experience doesn't necessarily answer that, but it definitely makes you ponder the nature of time and reality.
Yeah.
Is it set, or are we shaping it?
Okay, let's move to the peak of the experience, the climax, the divine encounter.
Right. So after all this learning and seeing, one of the guides gave a specific instruction. Stick out your left hand.
Left hand, okay.
And when they did, a silver sphere appeared in it.
A silver sphere.
Yeah. And that seemed to be the trigger, or maybe the preparation. Because right after that, what they described as Jesus's light body appeared.
Jesus's light body, what was the message?
It was simple, actually. Very direct. You are loved. God and Jesus are with you. Reassurance.
But how did the experiencer feel? Overwhelmed? Ecstatic?
Interestingly, no. They reported feeling quite detached, almost. Ambivalent. Just accepting whatever outcome God wanted, whether it was staying or going.
That detachment again, like a surrender of the self.
It sounds like it. A common element in deep mystical states, that loss of ego, of wanting, just being.
And then came the boundary, the point of return.
That's when a bright white light appeared. It filled the room, formed into a tunnel shape. They felt this incredible peace from the light, and then got the message. It is not your time.
Not your time.
And the light just retracted.
And the return journey began.
Which, given where we started, less than 1% chance of survival, makes the return itself pretty miraculous.
Absolutely extraordinary. And the daughter, remember the guide who looks like her?
Yeah.
Well, back in the hospital, the real daughter felt this strong, energetic connection the whole time. She kept insisting to the doctors she's going to live even when things looked hopeless.
Wow. And the moment of waking up, there was a story there too, right?
A great one. Apparently, a doctor trying to assess brain function just commanded, say something. And the patient, probably annoyed at being pulled back, just snapped something.
Sarcasm is proof of life.
Exactly. The family apparently burst out laughing like, okay, she's back.
That's brilliant. And the physical healing afterwards was also remarkable. Astonishingly fast. The tracheotomy site healed completely in 1 day. Doctors were reportedly startled.
1 day.
1 day. And the feeding tube site, that healed up in just 2 or 3 days. Way faster than usual.
So a medical miracle on the outside, but what about the inside?
Yeah.
The person's beliefs.
Total transformation. Remember, before this, they were deeply involved in their church. a traditional, non-denominational Christian ministry leader.
And after?
Complete shift. Their religious identification changed to other or several faiths, much more metaphysical, much less rigid. They started seeing Jesus more as a metaphysical figure and came to believe that lots of different faiths hold pieces of the bigger truth, like parts of a puzzle.
That's a fundamental change. Did it affect their values, too?
Absolutely. They gave a specific example, changing their mind about whether gay people might not get to heaven. That feeling of unconditional love and unity they experienced just seemed to override the old, more restrictive religious rules.
Makes sense. And how did this impact their life day to day?
Increased compassion, definitely. But also this interesting feeling of being more detached, yet paradoxically caring more deeply about people. There were some social shifts, too. Lost a couple of friends who couldn't really handle the changes in them.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah. And they also reported gaining new abilities, feeling more intuitive, and noticing electrical things acting up around them sometimes.
Like lights flickering or devices malfunctioning?
Stuff like that, yeah. It's reported sometimes after intense experiences.
And it sounds like it was hard to even talk about.
Extremely. The source says they didn't share the full story for 7 years.
7 years. Wow.
Yeah, because it was just too much. Too hard to put into words. Ineffable, really.
So, looking back at the whole account, what are the real defining features here?
I'd say. 1, that deep instructional merging with nature, with trees and flowers. That's unusual. 2, the way the Akashic records weren't just about life review, but included those specific, verifiable world predictions. And 3, the absolutely radical shift in core beliefs, religious, social, proving how impactful this non-physical journey was on their physical life.
And the core message about life's difficulties, why we go through tough times.
It came through very clearly, apparently. The message was straightforward. We come here to refine our souls through challenges and life journey in general. So hardship isn't random punishment. It's part of the process. Soul growth.
That really reframes suffering, doesn't it? As a refiner's fire, almost. Well, thank you for walking us through this incredibly complex and, frankly, mind-bending NDE account.
My pleasure. It's certainly one for the books.
And for you listening, here's a final thought to take away from this deep dive. We heard about the experiencer being told to merge consciousness with a lily, with a fish, and shown future experiments to check for consciousness in trees. So what does it really mean for our future, scientifically, philosophically, if we start to accept that intelligence, or maybe consciousness, isn't just human? What if it's a property of life itself? If love expands the universe, maybe it also expands consciousness way beyond the boundaries we currently imagine.
Something to think about, for sure. Until the next deep dive.
Thank you for listening to Borrowed Time NDE Podcasts. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss a moment of inspiration. Until next time, wishing you an extraordinary and truly wonderful time on your journey through life.